You know what's going on, guys. Yeah, I was supposed to go to work today and that, but I guess I was supposed to work yesterday, and I went in there. I'm just like, the manager lady was just like, "Well, you don't work today." I'm like, okay. And one of the other manager guys was like, "What happened to Saturday?" And I was just like, "Well, I thought I worked on Sunday, not Saturday." And like, no one called me, you know, and gave me like, "Hey, you know, you come in today at 9." Kind of like to give me a, you know, a grace period. Like, okay, cool. Because sometimes, you know, get the schedules and that sometimes. Especially when they shift the schedules around. And like, I was just sitting there like thinking to myself, you know, I don't like missing work. Because I don't normally miss work. And honestly, I was fucking pissed. I was really, really upset. I was in a rage. Like, so you're saying that, you know, no one can call me and be like, "Hey, you know, you are on the schedule today." I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, I thought I worked." Because that day, and then I was going to walk up there and check the schedule to begin with. On Saturday, I should have walked up there because I left at like at 5 o'clock to go to the gym. And it can't really mess with my hours because I did work another day in that. But like,
Dr. Hayden is just across the
I
complex.
honestly want to work more when
This
I go
industrial campus was once the headquarters of the
but
resistance.
No. Once again, you know. This shit's so fucking stupid. Like,
This area is no longer secure. Evacuation protocol is in effect.
like, but yeah. I mean, like, I'm so used to just working like 3 or 4 days a week, and I'd be like,
Warning, the ARC's headquarters is under attack.
Embrace your suffering, young advocates. Beyond the pain, there is enlightenment.
Cause like the manager lady like gave me like that weird like look when I came in. She's like saying like, oh, you know, you didn't work today. And like I worked yesterday. No one didn't call me and say, hey, you know, you worked. You know, because you know I forget. It does happen sometimes. I just. Oh, it just pisses me off that couldn't work because I have like, like I was just in the mood of working. You know, some people be like, oh, well, why don't you just stay home and then if I go, yeah, that's true. I think I'm just upset about that. I feel like, and I have such a good track record and shit, that I don't like to destroy myself.
Attention, Samuel Hayden has fallen. The ARC is no more. Please evacuate immediately.
What is that? I need to fucking eat. Oh. Yeah, with nothing to do now, I had to go back to sleep. And because I was too much, a little bit of anxiety, man. I don't want to fucking keep freaking out. This is a bunch of stupid women talking TikTok. Always makes me laugh.
You're all dolled up. He loves everything about you. He loves your hair, your makeup, your outfits, your nails. He loves all of it. And then over time, he doesn't like those things. You look better without makeup. You look better with short nails. You look better covered up. You look better natural, basically. And you're like, but you met me that way. Like, why don't you like all these things that you like to do? Two things. He's insecure, obviously. Number one, he wanted you for the bragging rights. He wanted you to show off to his friends, like locker room, high school. That's why he wanted you. Not because, like, he actually probably liked you, like, he just wanted to show you off and show that, like, that's what he did. Number two, he thinks of you as a show pony. He thinks that you look the way you looked to attract a mate, and now that you have attracted him and you have a mate, you no longer need to attract anybody else, therefore you no longer need to look like that. Insecure. He's insecure, and that is not your problem.
What an amazing plan we have here. We have another Colleen who goes on TikTok to talk about men and goes to the default playbook to shoot out the shaming language and leaving all men insecure if they place any standards on her. I mean, like you said, he's insecure obviously because he wants her to change to be a little bit more modest because he couldn't accept that she has to remain super attractive to attract other men. Because obviously, he says, hey, you're with me now, you don't need to keep a core lease sign out there for the next tenant. That means he is insecure. First of all, Colleen, let me ask you a question. Aren't women the ones who say that they get a man and they build him up? In other words, they want him to change, become the man that most women want. So does that mean that most women are insecure? That most women have all these emotional problems, they just are super controlling and super insecure? As to your two reasons, the first one's bragging rights. I'll give you that one. There are a good percentage of men out there that they don't directly brag about their girlfriends, but they do like the fact that their girlfriends are attractive. So in a way, I see where you're coming from. The second one, show pony, isn't that your first complaint in different wording? So basically, you only have one complaint, and again, he's insecure. So if the guy doesn't make as much money as you want him to make, and you're with him, you demand that he makes more money, does that make you financially insecure? But don't worry, Chloe. You can with his attitude. You be strong and independently secure by your little mistake. Moving on.
You know, it's never actually the hot guys that you walk out for. It's always the guys who are 60s and 70s who are going to hurt you the most. In your head, you're like, I've discovered this. This is a diamond in the rough. Like, nobody else is seeing what I'm seeing. You're like, I'm making a brave investment. Like, this guy's never going to hurt me. And you're like, well, no. And then they hurt you more than anybody else. 60s and 70s, look, their egos get way too big when a bad news comes up. It's
What? What?
They're like, oh, I can love bomb, I can gaslight, I can be the worst, and you're experiencing it like, I need you, like, you made them into a monster by discovering them.
No.
They're twisted on you. It's Frankenstein. The creation overtakes the master, and then the whole town dies. I don't know how that's supposed to go.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, yes, man, your eyes do not deceive you. This is the exact same queen that last year tried to trash her multi-million-dollar father just in a little bit of clout on TikTok. But the young men who want to date her are already warned. And it seems like she hasn't learned anything. I mean, she says, not the hot guys who hurt you, it's the 6s and 7s. What? The above-average guys? He discovered? Really? Oh, an above-average guy is diamond in the rough. He's making a brave investment. Sweetie, have you looked in the mirror? That guy putting on beer goggles to be with you is making a brave investment. And a dangerous one at that. I mean, she actually thinks she's a baddie. Well, maybe amongst the herd of purple-haired wildebeest she hangs out with on campus. Not.
Women always make me laugh when they say stuff. I swear they just say stuff to say stuff. You get an average looking one. I don't know why girls. I have no idea why women always want to think that. Thinking that being a badass bitch and these bitches get everything in that. All those bitches do is get banged, get slammed up against the wall, and that's it. Their egos get fucking torn apart for that brief moment. They feel good for a brief moment. And just because they can't attract attractive looking dudes, does not mean they keep them. Which they never do. Because that's what a whore is. That's a whore. A whore means you lack compassion for marriage. You lack God. You lack love. So you create this persona establishing that you want love and all this stuff and that. But yeah, you want love. You just want to get racked up and knocked up. But if you're worried about the way your body looks to be able to attract more people, then you won't. What you'll do, you'll sit there and you'll cry about it. Once your eyes are open to seeing what's going on, you really start to see how fucking ignorant a lot of these women can be. Like, for instance, I went to the gym. I saw this. I saw this high school. I guess he was a high school boy. Or they graduated high school. I seen him in before with his friends. So he came in with a really like hot fucking like Bosnian chick. She looked Bosnian. I can't tell. Okay. She was short, very attractive looking, young lady. Her ass was all sticking out. She had like those like curvy ass fucking like super skinny ass stomachs and that. Her ass is perked out like she does like a little bit of squats and that makes her butt look perky and shit. I mean, basically her ass was fat. It looked fat. And like, he was trying to like sit there and like help her lift weights and shit. I was sitting there doing my thing and I was doing like arms or something like that. I was working out and that. And, we connected eyes. I looked at her neck because, I like short girls with fat butts. And she had, a decent fucking rack on her too, it looked like. She looked really, nice actually. She's very hot. And like, I locked eyes with her a couple times and that. I don't talk. I'll look at people and that because, there's a couple girls that were in the gym and that because they always coming around like 5, 6 o'clock. I got up there like, around like 4. And they all start coming in around that time. So then I'm sitting there like, I'm looking, I'm exercising that. And then the guy that was actually with her wasn't really talking to her at all. Like, he was just ignoring her and that. When I did my last exercise, I was doing shoulders. And I was walking into the part of the gym that had the bands and that, because I like doing shoulders with bands. I do upright rows with bands and that because it's easier for my hands a little bit, because I can be able to get a little bit more reps in without hurting my hands. Because once I release some of that, the stress goes away. So I was just sitting there, I was listening, to my music and that. Pretty much almost done lifting weights and that. I felt our vibe was really like, I don't know, connective. Like, I could tell that she was very interested, and it was kind of weird though, because I was just sitting there like thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm like, why am I so attracted? And then I start thinking about this one girl I used to bring in the gym. I used to work with, and I used to work her out, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, like she used to do the same thing. She used to wear those tight ass pants, her ass be all hanging out, and that. And she was trying to get, and she even told me that she's like, well, I'm trying to get guys to the gym. I'm like, that's not how you pick up men. You don't go to a man's sanctuary, which is his gym or his friend's house, to pick up men. I'm like, well, how else do I do it? You just don't. Like you pick up men from like your work and that. Like that's where you normally pick up your men. You pick up in a place where you probably are going to be with that person for a long period of time. Work is one of them. And like, I don't know. I just found it kind of weird that like the dude was getting all kind of butthurt and that because he thought that he was gonna like work her out and that, and then also she sees my big ass like walk down the fucking thing and that, and like it instantly just sparked like that trigger in her mind, like, cause I already know how that shit works anyway. It always works like that. But yeah, it was just kind of funny that I was like, oh, okay, like whatever, like, you're hot, cool.
And she actually thinks she made an above average guy. Sweetheart, this is the same attitude that cost you your multi-million-dollar inheritance. What you should be making is a sandwich in the kitchen for better results. I do feel for young men because these are the types of queens that they are dealing with today. But look on the bright side, they show their true colors starting off. You young men out there want to roll the dice and date this kind of queen? All I can say is that you will deserve everything that happens to you. Moving on.
No one prepares you for the loneliness that you feel in your 20s. I'm currently sitting alone in my apartment. It's 1 in the morning. I'm drinking water out of a wine glass because it's the only thing I have. And all of my friends are either with their boyfriends, with their husbands, with someone. And I feel like the odd one out because I don't have any. I have myself and my dog. And don't get me wrong, I love being alone.
No, you don't.
I feel like people are really selfish and you lose a lot of friends in the chaos of being in different stages. And honestly, I just feel
I just feel forgotten and pushed to the side. Well, I think everybody needs to understand that I myself do not care about feeling alone. I don't think loneliness has ever existed. I think when you don't love yourself, you don't pursue stuff in your head, you're not actively pushing things and trying to produce things. If I was lonely and bored, my whole entire day I didn't have shit to do like today. I thought I had to work at that. So I ate more food than that. I took another nap for about an hour or so because I needed to recover. Eating a shit ton more protein than that, probably like, I don't know, like 6 ounces of, chicken breast. Maybe more, because chicken breast is fucking massive nowadays. Oh. Everyone goes down this road from being super attentionate. You get all this attention when you're a kid, and I get all this attention when you're in high school. Now, that was me with my brothers. All my brothers left me. I was basically by myself with my parents. So, I learned to shut it out. I learned to make my own life. My life is no longer with them. I can't even talk to them because I don't care. Is it being a mean person that In some sense it is. But like, that's what happens when you push yourself into a corner. You get all these whispers in your ears. You're lonely, you have no friends, doing that. And you start building up all these negative emotions. And then you have to express yourself. Best thing to do is train yourself. You want answers to questions. That's why you're frustrated. Why this? Why that? Okay. You want to start answering the questions of why. People get distant because they know damn well that they're not going to be friends with people forever. I have friends that are married now. I have friends that got married. I have friends I used to be with all the time and that. Remember the Destiny days? We were playing fucking Destiny 1. I made a lot of friends in Destiny 1. And nowadays, that's why I want to be a mentor. I want to teach people. I want to, talk with people about psychological things, why people do certain things, and reading the Bible. Bringing yourself closer to God makes you understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. And all I have to say is, I learned a lot about being alone. When the world throws you, the worldly things and heavenly things are two different things. The worldly things sometimes will shut you out. Like, I'm shut out from the world. Like, for some reason I knew that people just don't fucking like me. Or the world does not like me. I have a huge gut feeling with that. Why? Because I'm more of a heavenly person. I'm part of the heaven world. At least that's how I suspect. And so when I pray and talk to God, I get a lot more answers out of it than most people do. I get information. I get, my timings are always perfect. I deal with certain things a different way. But sometimes I don't listen to it. Like Saturday, for instance. I was supposed to go up to work and look at the schedule and see if I worked that day. I skipped out on it. My gut feeling, basically, God was telling me to do it. Because He knew that I forgot. And so these are the consequences. Now, anything bad gonna happen out of this? No, not really. They only worked like 3 days that week, and I literally worked an extra day because someone didn't come in. So, I'm basically almost get the same amount of hours, almost. But that's pretty well because I like to help people. That's what it is. Alright. Things happen for a reason. So I have to think about it. Okay. Once you figure out kind of how the reason goes, you kind of just like don't care. Like, okay, well today was a day that was a rest day. Saturday and today were workout days. I worked out really fucking good today. I worked out really good yesterday too. And like tomorrow, if I can recover, or later on today, if I can recover, I'm gonna do it again. I gotta see how I feel. Because I believe it was Saturday. Saturday I didn't get a good workout in. Like, I was just tired. And I think that's what it was. I was just so exhausted. My brain was not like, I didn't really do that. I did cardio. Yeah, because remember I was playing my game in that. The sad thing is that when you're lifting weights, you're burning off muscle fibers you have to grow. Your nervous system, my nervous system, always after my second time exercising, my nervous system gets hit fucking really hard. Where I'm just like, my muscles were like, oh, I can do it. My nervous system was like, nope. But yeah. Whew. Still eating. Almost done. Mm.
Welcome to your 20s.
Seriously, Queen, you're expecting sympathy from people on TikTok? Let's be honest, you're looking for sympathy from other women because men, for the most part, are going to look at you and say, "Who trying to kid you?" I don't care how these young women want to twist it. When you're a young woman in her 20s, you don't even have to be super attractive. You just have to be average looking. It's not that hard for you to get a date. If you're lonely in your 20s, the reason that you're alone is in the mirror, as in you. Let's flip it around. Let's say a guy in his 20s who was about your weight class equivalent. That he's crying, he's alone, he feels very lonely. That is actually a lot more believable because it's much harder to date as a guy. Women have much higher standards of men. So you crying about you being alone tells this gorilla that your standards are sky high. I mean, it seems to me like you are a lower mid tier acting like you're a 10. And if you're drinking water out of a wine glass, then you should reflect that to how little you actually have. And you should really practice expectation management. To my viewers, I swear, this video to me seemed like the prequel trailer right before she bought a cat. Moving on.
Okay, so the next time that someone tells you that you shouldn't have high standards because you're a single mom, I want you to walk away with your head held high, knowing that you dodged a bullet. What's that like to say I'm a single mom too? Let's talk about it. So let's start off with number one. Being a mom does not make you less deserving of love. You deserve love, you deserve companionship, and being a mother does not mean that you should not have standards. In fact, your standards are probably going to be higher than the next woman because you not only are dating for yourself, you are setting an example for your child/children. We bring a lot to the table. Let's not let society be confused. We are that girl, okay? I don't know any mothers in my circle who aren't that girl. Nurturing, caring about their business at home. Like, don't let people and these men make you feel like you don't bring a lot to the table because
You don't. You bring... yeah, you bring stuff to the table, but it's not the right stuff. I love single moms that bitch and moan online. Dude, we're single moms and we gotta stay together. Yeah, that's all you got, because men are not gonna do nothing with you. Because you're not traditional. You lack God. You're a succubus. You want lifeblood of man because you can't. Well, I understand the man that got you pregnant wasn't good enough for you or whatever at the time. Because like I said, some of these women are not meant to be with man. They're succubus. They suck the lifeblood out of man. They take everything they can out of man and they think it's my status. You know, oh, these are my children. Makes me a higher status person. Then they go online. The ones that do this, obviously. Then they go online and talk this stupid shit. It's proof in the pudding that they talk it. You're talking it. You're sitting there jibber jabbing about this shit. And you wonder why, we're more high standard than normal women at. No, you're not. No. Player man, the man that you keep on fucking, you're your average looking person, Player man that just bang you and leave you, they're gonna bang you and leave you. Because they know you're not traditional. Traditional women that are caring and loving towards their man, these women don't want men. They don't want equality. They just want to be dominant. So then they get left on red throughout their whole entire life. It's just like women back in the 70s and 60s and that were just whores. They went to the bars and that, they got drunk and that, they got fucked around and that, and the only time they ever got married now is because they need a place to stay. So they suck and fuck and they find a guy that's like a simp. Easy. and they spread their legs. The guy goes crazy now because about the only pussy he ever fucking saw because he's fucking not attractive. And then they get pregnant. And then they demand that life to be this specific way. And the guy just wants to work because he wants to stay away from her. But he's stupid enough to marry her. It just shows how fake women can be. Like I said, personal experience from my ex. Like, there's some days that I would just be like, what the fuck? Like, I remember one day we moved the futon to the room next. I never really slept with her in that because she sleeps like a fucking wildebeest. Like, it's a funny thing. She sleeps very, like, moves around a lot. She tosses around a lot. And I'm just sitting there. Every time I sleep with her and that, like, she never wants to cuddle with me. She's like, oh, it's too hot. Da, 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 da. And she's very cuddable, you know. She got a big, huge butt and that. It's fucking nice to grab onto and that. And so, like, a week or so before she broke up with me, she started to get really angry with me over really silly stuff. Like, her vibe changed with me. I even told her that, like, she was so obsessed with materialistic things. And, like, that's what it was. She cared more about her bong than she cared about me. And she didn't trust me. Like, she thought I was gonna break her bong or something. And it was in a nice spot. It wasn't in a spot that it would have fucking got touched. It was like tucked away in between the wall and the futon that I was laying on. And she told me to move it. I'm like, thinking to myself, it's not in a bad place. I'm not gonna kick it or hit it. Cause it's like below the futon. It wasn't even, my feet couldn't even touch it. So like, okay, so I picked it up and that, I put it on top of the dresser and that, and I was looking for a place to move it. And then not even like a second, like maybe barely like 3-4 seconds later, she comes stomping in. Don't put it up there, it's gonna fall. I was like, I'm looking for a place to put it. She's like, I'm just gonna do it myself. I like got super fucking mad out of nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why the fuck did you get mad out of nothing? Like, really? Like, I was just gonna move it somewhere. She puts it down, obviously, like, in a place where it could be knocked over by, you know, because she had a cat in that. I'm just like, are you fucking serious? She's like, just go to bed, just forget about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna forget about it. I'm not gonna fucking hang out anymore. So that day is when I started pulling back. I'm like, I'm mad. I had anxiety and I was praying and I'm like, I do not want to be with this person. Right there was definitely just the point where I was just like, yeah, you're not the sweetheart that was loving and caring, that all you care about is materialistic things. I'm just like, fuck this shit. Even a week before that, I was already getting to the point, like, you're starting to get angry over really stupid shit. Like I said, the first month was great. We hung out and that. She'd do good morning kisses with me and that. She'd sit down next to me, like, when the futon was out there, that. She'd sit down next to me, you know, and she'd wake me up and that. And I see her beautiful face and that in the morning time and that, you know, she'll give me a kiss and that. And she was being really actually, like, that's that fakery shit. And I told her, just be like that all the damn time. Just be happy that you're with me. You always want and want and want. You want too much. Like, what the fuck you want all this shit? You're so gorgeous when you just be the cutesy fucking girl. You're trying to be this masculine fucking man. There's a problem right there. You're not a fucking man, bitch. You are a fucking woman. Just be a woman. Just look pretty and shake your titties in my face. That's all you need to do. Like, literally, guys will do anything for a woman that just to be able to grab on the ass and titties and that. That's why you got them. And it makes it easier. That's why your life's easier. Because you got boobs and cute faces and you got fat butts and that and skinny stomachs and shit. I mean, if you're fat, then whatever the fuck it is. Like, your body itself is what makes your life easier. The way you look makes it easier. Like, men have to build up to that. Women are just luxuries to have. Like, the one girl I was talking about at the gym and that. She had a fat fucking nice little cute fucking ass and a fucking nice little fat rack and that. And she knew it. She knew that she was fucking hot. She just knew it. She walked around, pranced around, smiling at anyone that looked at her. She knew that she was getting attention. Yeah, any guy will fucking do anything with that. You know, like, because that's one of the questions that she asked me about. She's like, why do you always want to grab on my boobs and grab on my butt? And I'm like, cause that's what guys like. That's a turn on for a man. That's what we always want to do. Every guy always want to grab on titties and grab and spank butt and that and grab on the fat ass and that. That's just how guys are. Like, how the fuck do you not know that? Like, you're literally my age. You still don't understand how a man works. I'm like, right there was like, I would say it was a red flag. And the massive amount of anger here and there with stupid, it was always with materialistic stuff. That was a massive, massive red flag. It was like punching me in the face to fucking leave that night. I was just like, I really just wanted to call a fucking Uber and just get the fuck out of there. But I knew I was just gonna wait, so I suffered it out and that. I listened to music and that. And the next morning that she like apologizes to me for that shit, like that the anger and that. I'm like you gotta stop being angry. Well, just yeah, that's what weed does to you. Weed makes you. Weed doesn't make you gain knowledge to get rid of anxiety. Anxiety. Okay, let's look at all the stuff. Why you get this stuff. The reason why people get anxiety and get stressed out, they get depressed and that, is because you're not learning. The more you learn, the less stress and less anxiety that you have. When you know why that you're stressed out, it's because you're not doing anything with your life. When you start to do shit with your life, you start to grow in the hobbies that you like to do, and you're not stressful because your mind's not relating to anything but the hobby. So you waste time. You get fulfilled throughout the day. Like my hobbies are, talk about the shit that I always talk about. Talk about my life, talk about the girl bullshit that I always have to deal with and that. That's what I like to do. I've always been very vocal with that shit. Always. That's why I started streaming. Just to chit-chat about stupid shit. And then I go into, exercising, talking about exercise, and talking about psychology and that. It's just the things that, make me happy. Is it fulfilled? I get fulfillment a lot. But then I start to change my mindset. I start to get really confident. And now I'm starting to learn how to build my body up. And now I'm starting to learn what attraction actually is towards a woman. And now I don't chase too hard. Like with my ex, and I literally just said I could just find another one of you. If I get a different job, some other girl is gonna go right back in my fucking bed. I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you, because you don't fit what I want you to fit. You got the looks, you got the charm, you got all the stuff in that to pull me in, but like your attitude is fucking outrageously negative sometimes. Can't just be happy with what you got. You gotta be thinking you want more. And you smoke so much weed, and that's the first thing that I don't want. Next woman, if I ever do get another woman, which I probably will, you can't be smoking weed. I want you to be drinking pre-workout and going to the gym with me. I cannot date a girl that smokes weed. Sorry, I refuse. I don't give a fuck what kind of medical stuff they say about it, and I'm like, yeah, you know what it does is it fucks your whole life up. I refuse. Weed is terrible for you. Like drinking wine or something, you want to relax with wine that or get a little tipsy and that. It's every now and again fine, but like I don't do any of that shit. I refuse to. I pray for my anxiety to go away, and it goes away. I used to do CBD and shit when I had mass anxiety. Like, oh, it gets rid of anxiety. No, it numbs anxiety. It numbs the anxiety. It slowly brings you down, but that's not what gets rid of anxiety. Your mind, your thinking pattern is what gets rid of anxiety. The less you think about something and you like sit there and like right now, I'm getting less pissed off about work because I'm talking about stupid shit that girls say online. I'm pushing my frustrations from work farther away from my conscience, that I'm not even caring about it as much. I'm talking about something else that is more exciting to to me. That's how you get rid of anxiety about things. You talk about other things that make you happy. So if you talk about things that make you more positive than that, the negativity actually starts to calm down, and then it starts to drift away because your mind literally just forgets about it. That's how it actually works. Because when you smoke weed, what happens? Your anxiety, your stress and anxiety starts to drop down, and you make you happy. And you start being happy and being giggly and all that shit. And that. There's no difference than sitting there and praying. I pray to Jesus, I pray to the Holy Spirit, which is right next to me all the time. Hey, Holy Spirit, always. And if I pray to the Holy Spirit, God hears it. And my prayers are always going to be answered, especially if they're small prayers, like talking about, please help me out with my anxiety, that, please calm down my emotions, that, please have me look for a way to, deal with stuff and that, and, and as soon as I call out to Him, our only God that we have, I call out to Him, and then I get the Word. And then I start thinking about I can start thinking about the Bible. The Bible starts talking about that stuff. With Jesus and that. Jesus is the Word. He is the Savior. We give all of our frustrations to Him because that is His love that deals with our stress. So all the emotional negativity we get is demons attract to that. So when demons attract to all that negative emotions, the only way to alleviate it is by giving it to Christ. And Jesus basically tells the demons to fuck off and be like, that's my child. You can go fuck yourself, basically. Stay away from my child. And that's why we pray daily. We pray daily. Now, I always ask for a blessed day. Bless my day with love, with, patience, and whatever positive things I have. And my days are always good. Sometimes I'll get ill will towards me and that. I can feel when people don't like me. And it hits me hard. And there's a lot of people out there, that will ill will you. They'll talk bad shit about you and that. Most times the best thing to do is, like Jesus says, ignore them. Because, if you get emotionally involved with them, then you're no better than them. Which is, judge yourself first before you judge another. So if I judge myself first and then say, I'm not going to be the same person that I used to be back then and hate on people because they ill will me because they're jealous. And then I push myself into the part of thinking what am I going to eat today? What am I going to work out today? What am I going to do today? And it makes my life easier. Because you stick with more positive reinforcement with yourself and that the negativity can't catch up to you. That's just what it always will be. Let's listen more of the stupid shit.
You built it. Okay? Now, being a single mom does mean that you are a lot more selective with yourself. Being a single mom means that not everybody has access. You're not going to allow the things that you used to allow before you had kids. And I'm speaking on that from experience. I became a lot stricter, and things had to be kept a lot more tight after I became a mom. And that's okay. And last but most certainly not least, just know that your standards are filtering out the wrong people, which is why I said in the beginning, walk away with your head held high because you dodged the bullet. The man that God has for you is not going to look at you and think, oh, she's a mom. No, I'm going to share with something that my mom shared with me years ago. The man for you is going to look at you, and they're going to fall in love with you even more because of the mother you are. So.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that, Jesus? She pulled a God card. She's talking about you. Listen here, honey. Woo. Don't get me started on what your whore ass actually is. Bless your soul. Hopefully, you get forgiven that. But knowing that you had children out of fucking wedlock, not marriage, which is a massive fucking sin. Because you refuse to be with the daddy. Because obviously all the daddies are bad. Most daddies don't leave their children unless they're drug addicts. So you're in a sacrilegious relationship to begin with. Hey, well, God will find you this night. Well, here's how it is, honey. I'll be up front with this woman. For a woman that probably barely believes in God, because you don't follow the rules that God gives you, don't speak his name out of context, because that's blasphemy. I love when people blasphemize God all the time, and I'm very, very close to my father. I've always been. Very, very spiritually close. Now, it's like if I can hold his hand, I probably could to a certain extent. And like seeing like women or men, people talk about God and that, and they kind of like mock it a little bit. I said, why do you do that? I said, they'll say, well, I don't believe. You know what belief is, right? Lack of knowledge on something. Because you don't believe in something doesn't mean he's not there. So if you want to mock the most powerful being ever, and his love and embracing is so powerful that he accepts that you're a fucking idiot. Because you gotta think. When it comes down to sin, like, you know, Solomon and Gomorrah. Solomon and Gomorrah is always a really good thing in the Old Testament. You know, he gave them chances. He gave them 10 chances. Throughout all the Old Testament, God always gave everybody chances to redeem themselves. He said, if you find 10 good people in there that are not sinners, I won't destroy it. He said, if you find 9, I won't destroy it. If you find 8, this is what he did. If you find 7, he said, if you can find one person in there, because he was talking to, I can't remember who he was talking to. He's talking to one of the saints and that in their family. And I said, if you can find one person in there that does not sin, I will not destroy it. And they couldn't find one person. He says, okay, well, I gave you guys 10 tries. Like, you guys need to escape. I'm going to blow this fucker up. And what happened? A big ass fucking volcano blew up and a bunch of shit came in there and literally just wiped out Sodom and Gomorrah. So you're saying who is being wrathful? God, that gave people 10 chances to find, gave his saint, his chosen one at the time, 10 chances to find one person that was not a sinner. And he says, leave now. I'm about to blow this motherfucker up. And so he did. So when you look at the Old Testament to the New Testament, people always get it confused. It's like, well, the Old Testament leads to Jesus. The whole entire Old Testament leads to Jesus. Jesus is the Word, and that Word became creation. And the Holy Spirit came in and did God's work for him as he was speaking the Word. And everything came into creation that they all worked in unison with each other. That's why, when people understand, it's like, you can't just talk about Jesus without the Holy Spirit. You can't talk about the Holy Spirit without the Father. God in 3 persons. He works in mysterious ways. And that's why people don't understand. Like, people, like, a lot of religions and that, Muslims especially, they're like, oh, you got 3 gods and all this stuff and that, And it's like, the Bible never says there's 3 gods. It said that there's 3 persons of God. They all have their ways of dealing with things. At least that I've read, like the first, like in Genesis, and I literally say, the Holy Spirit is, walking, the Spirit of God was walking on the waters, going to work and figuring out shit. So that's why, I think what this girl's talking about in that, saying, oh, when people bring up God and that, always like, you be very careful what you say in that, because if you read the Bible enough in that, you understand when people start bringing up God in that, and they're not like instantly saying like, I bring up God with prayer, or I bring up the Trinity when I actually read what it actually is, and when people go against them, like, you're wrong about all that stuff. I talk about the girl at Planet Fitness and that. She was talking about, God says, don't wear the hammer that bludgeoned your mom that protected you because it reminds you of her and that it's a bad omen. Yeah, you know why God said that? It's because God said, forgive the enemy that bashed your mother's head and don't wear that to remind you of revenge, because revenge is a satanic thing. And this lady was trying to say, because I wear the cross of Jesus' sacrifice, and you try to compare a woman, because she was a full-on feminist, and God did his job. She wasn't there anymore. She left. Literally, like that next week, she was gone. That's how God works. Like that heat debate was very, very, very intense. And knowing that I held my anger and I wanted to fucking just decimate this person. Woman or not, I did not give a two flying fucks. You were strictly, mocking my, Lord. And you were saying gobbity gookity fucking shit. You didn't even understand because, you're a illiterate fucking dumb bitch. And as I hold my tongue, I actually told her, I'm like, so you're saying, I was like, what are you saying? It's like, you think that a mortal mom is the same thing as the Son of God? And she was like, well, he was immortal, was he? Like, yeah, he was in the flesh. God in the flesh. He was the Word in the flesh. I mean, I didn't know about the Word in that a lot. I just know that Jesus was, the Savior. And I'm like, he had divinity of God, but he was a human being. That's how they express Jesus in the flesh. Because he always talked about my divinity, my God's, God's with me, Even when he got baptized, that the heavens opened up for him and that, and and he spoke to him and say, you are my son, you are my favorite, you are, blessed with, no sin, and I favor you. That's what he says, that I favor you, my son. So he prayed every day. He prayed about, everything. And when she kept on talking about this stuff, and that I talked about it with her, and I was like, you can't compare someone that sacrificed for a child, for one person, than someone sacrificed for all humanity. It had the power to be the sacrificial lamb for all sin, period. And I was just like, I basically stopped talking. I just left the gym and not even like a couple days later, she ended up leaving. And I was just like, I guess God does work in mysterious ways. I mean, not to be a dick, like I could not stand it. Like she got so frustrated, got so fucking upset with it probably in that, and she probably just quit that. Yeah, because you're a feminist woman attacking, basically trying to be a holy person, and it's difficult nowadays because I've tried my best to oblige by the rules that I have. I don't, I try to keep my adultery as far down as I can inside my mind, and that, I do slip up on that. It's the hardest thing in the world to do because everything's such a perverted world. Like, everything's so fucking perverted. And, like, it gets to the point where you struggle with it because you're like, fuck. You walk down the street, you see a girl with their titties hanging out, and that you're like, so you have to mentally, like, block it out, and that, like, I find women attractive in that, yeah. When I first see a girl in that, it catches my eye at the gym. But after a while, that gets to the point I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. Shit, I think it's supposed to be raining tomorrow. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, it's supposed to start raining in the morning, and then it's gonna be raining like most of the day. So when I go to work at 6, it's supposed to be 35% rain, and then it's supposed to calm down. It's supposed to rain again on Tuesday. Yeah, I gotta check the schedule again. Yeah, I gotta check the new schedule on Monday. I think she posts it on Monday. So now I gotta talk to my manager person that tomorrow night and be like,
Keep that note, guys.
oh,
I'll see y'all in my next coffee chat. Love you, bye.
Dang, man, I gotta ask, is this actually legal? I mean, how is it possible that TikTok allows a woman to make a video pushing out that much copium? Let me get this straight. Your entire video premise is to try to justify how high value a single mother is in the modern dating market? I'm sorry, Toby, but being a single mom does not make your SMV skyrocket. It actually makes it tank. I mean, starting off your video by pushing out saying, oh, you are deserving of love, you are deserving of this, you are deserving of that. Colleen, would you step with the line? You are not deserving of somebody else's time and attention to you. You're not owed that life.
that's so true though. Oh, my fucking eyes are. Okay. That is so true though. These women want to think that they're all like, I'm high maintenance. No, you're not. Yeah, I got my thing. Cool. The thing I've been waiting for is all these damn gems. But yeah, it's a lot of fucking stupid shit in this world, but these women are so funny.
Who was about your weight class equivalent, that he's crying, he's alone, he feels very lonely. That is actually a lot more believable because it's much harder to date. I mean, starting off your video by pushing up saying, oh, you are deserving of love, you are deserving of this, you are not deserving of someone else's time. You're not doing that.
Chad / Tyrone.
The entrance into Dr. Hayden's outpost is blocked. 2 peripheral turrets identified. Calculating optimal firing path. Confirmed. You could use both turrets to clear a path. I will mark them for you.
Hey, range beast. See ya. Oh my god. Everybody. I missed that guy. I don't know if I do together. Oh, we got it on fire. Everybody. Come here, fries. Yeah. Fuck. Hey, come up here. Hey, buddy. Ow. Hey. Fuck Okay, what did I get up to? Cool, that helped a lot. No, give me one more time. What's the more gobbledygook for women? You're a miracle maker? How you make those babies, honey? Well, guys, bang me. So who's the miracle worker? You both are. What the fuck? That's so stupid. Why do women even talk sometimes? They say stuff that don't make no sense. Like, it takes two to do it. Like, literally. Like, I don't know why people want to say that it doesn't. Cyber Demon, nope. I don't want to do it. Ah! Nothing falling. Hey, buddy. Yeah. I wonder if I can chop those guys up real quick. Come here, big boy. The king, let's go. Go, invaders. Hey, big boy, get the fuck out of here. I win. I'm having some fun. Here we go. Run through the wall. Come here. Yeah. Come here, big piece of shit. Fuck. That was fun. I gotta give you a little bit of ammo everywhere. How you carry that much gasoline? That's always made me laugh. How the fuck you carry so much gasoline? He's like, he's got all these weapons on him and that, all this gasoline on him and that, filling up his chainsaw as he's cutting people down. Like, how do you get all that shit, bro? I attribute everything to Doomsday is walk around punching people. I really don't think he uses weapons. I really think he just punches people. I didn't do that, my bad. I'm bad. Sorry.
This is Dr. Elena Richardson, log entry 002. Subject analysis of Doom, January 24th, 2163. There is no chance that the subject is a demon. We have blood samples pulled from the Mars base event that show his blood type is AB positive. He is male with a genome that makes him very much a member of the human race. But the enhanced strength, speed, and athleticism would indicate otherwise. But we can see from the blood samples that there are foreign bodies present of unknown origin. I cannot, as a contributing member of the scientific community, agree with the assumption by some of my colleagues that he is, for lack of a better word, a god, an avenging angel, the right hand of doom, here to save humanity from its sins. But I cannot ignore that the timing of his arrival, the identity of his enemies, the fire and brimstone element to this catastrophe we currently find ourselves in it has definitely shaken my scientific resolve.
Yeah. Doomslayer. Yeah, big poo-poos. Beat their asses. Yeah, well. Cool. Let's see more women bitch about shit.
It's like, yeah, my marriage didn't
Yeah.
work out. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. But just because I say it's a lot doesn't mean it's too much for me. It's just too much for you.
What? These women always blame everything on a man. It's too much for you. No, it's my decision that I don't want to be with you. Because you got baggage, bitch. What the fuck do you mean too much for me? It's not too much for anybody but you. You're the one dealing with the consequences of your actions. The man's not. Because the man's not around you, dumbass. Like, that makes no sense. Like, I was thinking about, Spaceballs when Pizza Hut said, "We're coming for you," and he points at him all crookedly and shit. That's what she did. She's like, "It's nothing to do with me. It's you. It's your problem, not my problem. You're the one dealing with the problem, dumbass. You're the one." Oh, you're retarded. I have to get my system manager work with the number net. Just in case this does happen, I'm like, call me. Because shit does happen that people do forget sometimes, but it is what it is. Okay. Listen to more women complain. Here we go. This one makes me laugh.
Just like, for just every single month of my life for the past 30 years, it's been doing that. It's what I do. I make babies. It's a miracle. I'm a miracle maker. Excuse me, I have oil on my face. But and it's like, yeah, my marriage didn't work out because I was raised in a broken home and didn't know what the heck I was doing. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. But like, I'm like, just because I say it's a lot doesn't mean it's too much for me. It's just too much for you. And so it's just like, they're just telling themselves, like, you can't handle a woman with kids. You can't handle that. Like,
there's a woman saying that you're a pussy because you can't handle women with kids. That's why you don't date me. No, we don't date you because I'm not the one that nutted in you and had those fucking kids, bitch. So, yeah, I'm not gonna deal with kids that are not mine when you're just using me for a luxury. That's what it is. You need to go back to your baby daddy or your fucking husband and say, hey, make this shit work out. But no, feminist women will blame everything on men and not themselves. That's why you're single. You blame everything on man when it's your fault. It's your fault to spread your fucking legs. It's your fault to get fucking pregnant. It's your fault to do all these sexual things to get guys' attention. It's your fault to wear clothing that shows off all the ass and titties in the world because you think it's part of the culture. No, that's your fault to decide to be a satanic slut. Does that sound about right, guys? You're a satanic slut. You're a succubus. You don't have any worth for man, so man has no worth for you. Because guess who came first, bitch? Man did. Guess who came from a man? Woman. You came from a man. A man's rib is what made a woman. And God did it in a way of saying you should be one with that woman. These women don't understand that you're not worth anything without a man. If all men ignored all fucking women, what would happen to women? They would all go crazy. You would see, you thought fucking, the Summer of Love with Antifa was fucking bad. Just imagine if all men literally just say, yo, we're all gonna be bros together, fuck these bitches. 100%, they would go fucking crazy. That's what they're doing right now. They're going crazy. Because they don't understand, what about me? What about you? You got 5 kids, bitch, from 10 different fucking men. How'd you do that? That doesn't add up. That doesn't need to add up. I don't need to be right about anything. Because you are. What you're doing is not right. And what you want me to do is not right. So I don't need to be right. Fuck you. Go away. I mean, you're 40 years old with kids. And you have no husband. How? Why? What the fuck's wrong with my generation? I'm 35 years old. What the fuck's wrong with my generation? My generation of women are fucking retarded. You're stupid. You're all retarded. Y'all don't know how to even be a woman. You think just spreading your legs and getting pregnant is being a woman. No. You just hate on men. All you want is kids from men because you think it makes you feel better about how fucking retarded you are. That's all it is. You like godhood. Back then, people believed in God more. That's the reason why they got married. They got married underneath God's law because they loved each other. Just like Jesus says in the fucking New Testament, they talk about marriage and that. He says, you know, when hard times come in, Satan wants to be in the middle of your marriage, just like I want to be in the middle of your marriage. Satan wants you to hate each other instead of loving each other. So when you pray and you go through the cycle, and, you know, Jesus always says, keep me in your heart for when you get upset. Keep me in your heart when you get mad and angry and frustrated and pray. You know, think about what I would do first before you do something, because Jesus always, turn the other cheek, basically telling people to kiss his ass because he's the son of God, basically, and that's how I interpret it. But you know, obviously there's more to it, but like saying, be gone with yourself. You're nothing special. You're no one. You're a fucking nobody person that demanding that someone should do all these things for you. So men are being like Jesus. They're turning the other cheek. They're walking the other way, saying, "I do not know you." And all these women are getting really fucking pissed off. Yeah, fuck you. Like my ex and that. I love her. No, I can't say she's a bad person. That, you know, she was tipping over towards Jesus and that. I was trying to pull her, like, you know, just read the Bible and that. Just pray. You know, when shit gets you down, just pray. But you're praying for too much. You're always praying for money and that. What the fuck is money to God? You know, money's nothing. And yeah, survival, like, he wants you to survive good in this society and that, but like, you need to pray for, you know, better health. Or pray for better emotional health. Discipline. And then you start looking through the Bible to find that. That's literally, the Bible's a dictionary of knowing what to do in your life. You know, when I see a sacrilegious woman like this sit here and say all this stuff and that, you know, despite the fact she's probably, you know, I don't deem that she's a believer because she's not following what I think that the law is of God. You know, there's a lot of laws out there. Normally the law of Moses is probably the most highest point in the law out there, but there's a lot of things out there that people don't understand that, no, Jesus came down to talk to us about. That's why he became, you know, God, you know, Son of God in that. listen to this bullshit.
If you can't handle that, good luck meeting a woman, because we make babies. There's a lot of single mothers out there, because men can't handle all that. Good luck.
Is that actually oil all over her face? This girl for a moment thought that she was sweating because she OD'd on copium. Anyway, wait, you kind of just ratted yourself out when you said that you couldn't make your marriage work because you grew up in a broken home. Translation from womanese, that means that you broke your home just like your mom broke your home. You followed the example that's laid out for you. And let me tell you something. Men don't dislike you because you're a single mother. What they're saying is that they know that they're never going to come in first. A man who gets with a single mother is never going to be her type. She sees him as cool. As the guy who comes in to foot the bill for the last guy who was here who left his department.
That's so true. He said, you're following the standards of what your mom did for you. You lived in a broken home, and now you made your own broken home. You didn't learn from your mistake. You're just bitching about it. Oh, don't you just love when women just say that? Oh my God, it's man's fault. What did you do wrong? It's like when a relationship happens. If you talk to a woman about it, what does a woman say? A woman says what? What'd you do as a man? And you're all like, well, this one talking about what I do as a man. Oh shit! Whoops. Ah! I wasted it. Shut faster. Hey guys! Ah! How you doing, buddy? Hey, buddy. Stop. Power in the system. Power in the system. Get fucked, bro. Pow. Take that, demon. Piece of shit. Oh, this thing's never fun. Oh God. Oh yeah! Ah! Yeah. Okay. Where am I going? I got the green light everywhere. Can't pick a window. Chop.
This is Dr. Elena Richardson, log entry 005, subject analysis of Doomslayer, February 2nd, 2163. Maybe he is a god. Maybe he represents humankind's rage, their will to persevere, to overcome that which will threaten our survival. He is uncompromising, a relentless being of violence that knows no mention of the hesitation shown by our many leaders and politicians during our time of judgment. Can he overcome them alone? If he can't, we as a species, all species, will not survive.
Although you're in the 40s, so you have like 3% of all your eggs left, so chances of you popping up something are low. And you say that men are wussies because they can't handle a single mother. I beg to differ. I think men have a lot of experience with what those things they know the issues that come up. They know the guys you're gonna do with. They know that, hey, you know what? The juice isn't what we need, especially with a single mom. And let's not forget, because you're in your 40s, you could be in a much smaller pool of men. Most men in their 40s are divorced. They don't even know what's up. They're coming in with experience of might find that they are going to get the short end of the stick. And we don't want to know what's it, the Chad who left this the beauty, aka a save date for the next guy to play.
That was fucking great. They did the Mortal Kombat fatality thing. Fatality. Flawless victory. Oh my god, I lost! Oh, come on! That's what I hate about this fucking part. I always fall out of this part. It pisses me off because like it's just far enough away you can barely fucking reach it. What the fuck? What just happened there? I jumped! Okay, I'm about ready to stop playing this game. I'm getting mad already. Fuck this shit. I want Doom just to be run around and kill shit. I don't want all this acrobatic crap. You don't need to go through buildings and that. You go through buildings literally with your fist. Come on now. Dude can literally break down a whole building by himself. He's like Kenshiro walking through a building with his head. Talk about that. That's a really good movie.
Something that I really think we need to start normalize asking men, especially potential partners or especially new partners, is if they've ever been violent towards women. It was definitely something that popped up in my head to ask the previous situationship. It occurred to me a couple times.
You eat avocado with tomatoes and bread. You ain't that you ugly. What the fuck? You ain't that good looking. How you talk about men? If men get with you, they get with a Transaurus Rex with man, you ugly. What the fuck?
Yeah. They had shared with me details about being violent in other ways. Why not towards women? Well, I can probably safely say that I felt like I was walking on eggshells around that issue, and I didn't want to bruise a delicate ego, because that in and of itself can contribute to us not feeling safe with them if they're triggered, you know what I mean? Now being on the other side of it, and after having been able to ask that question to people who could actually give me an honest answer, because, you know, listen, let's face it, you're asking them a question they're most likely not going to be honest about. Didn't your mother ever teach you manners?
And you know what? This gorilla actually agrees with his queen as to asking the difficult questions. I've always said that the vetting process is very important. And her asking a logical question to a man as to, hey, have you ever been violent towards a woman? In an effort to try to figure out if he's a guy to be safer on or not, is a green light in my book. In fact, I'll do you one better, sister. I think men should start asking women, have you ever falsely accused a man of committing violence against you in order to get him kicked out of the house? From his kids. In order to get an easy win in divorce court. I think that's very important so a man can feel safe with a woman, because it's not like this society has an automatic win for men based on an accusation alone. But it sure as hell has a lot of examples of women overwhelmingly abusing that to get men separated from their families so they can...
A cat with a knife? There's a cat with a knife.
And poison the kids against their own father because their fifis told them to do so. And obviously they must be perceived as the victims. They couldn't possibly be the guilty party here now, can they? Good call there, Chloe.
But you're creating a conversation in which you can read energy. You can start to pick up on other signals that may not have presented themselves before. As I was saying, I was very lucky. I was able to ask that question to people who were capable of offering me historic facts that I wouldn't have been offered directly, just confirming not only my suspicion, but the dangerous situation that I got myself out of. So yeah, ladies, it's okay. If you have an instinct, if you have a gut feeling, listen to it. Ask the difficult questions. Maintain your safety.
Okay, so if I ask different questions to a woman, I say, hey, are you a crazy psychopath that likes to get fucked in the ass? Because I keep hearing whispers in my gut feeling saying that you're just a crazy psychopath. Wait a minute. All women are crazy psychopaths. Hmm. Yeah. I guess I am right about that. Now here's why. There's more. There's a reason why I say that. Because women are made from a lot of emotions. They're half of a man. Why? Well, think about it. If a man is so-called dealing with a woman, what's he dealing with? Probably a lot of luggage, you know, especially older women than that. Younger women, a little bit different of a story. Younger women, not so bad. You gotta ask yourself, why is that? It's like, well, that's because younger women are not psychopaths as much. Oh no, you can't say that. You can't say women are crazy, because they get mad. Yeah, your point. I'm not crazy. Oh. You need a little last espresso with your fucking coffee, honey, because you are crazy. Yeah, I thought men were fucking crazy, man. I know some stupid ass men. Most men are fucking chill as fuck. Most women that I talk to in that, the only woman I actually saw is actually really pleasant, like almost all the time, was this chick named Autumn. She was probably the most pleasant fucking person here. She was upfront and truthful. You want to know why? Drum roll, please. Because she was conservative. That's why. She wasn't a liberal. She had a little bit more faith with God, and that's why she wasn't so. She knew, to a certain extent. She was a logical thinker. Wait a minute, you gotta be logical? Yeah, if you're a logical woman, you're more logical. And yeah, you have to be emotional too to understand feelings and that. You have to be both. It's hard, but you have to understand feeling. It doesn't mean you have to be emoting. Like women that just emote with no logic, ain't nothing to work with. And like I promise you, with all the experience that I had with talking with women and that, even older women, I had an older black lady and that she'd always talk to me about women and that, and she would say she was dead on exactly how women are. And she would tell me, she's like, women are like bitches are fucking crazy. She was like, most women are crazy. I'm like, really? He's like, yes, most women are fucking crazy. I'm like, well, yeah, I can see that. He's like, don't ever listen. No, he's like, she was like, don't ever listen to women and what they say, because a lot of times they just make up shit. Like, they will never tell you the full truth unless you talk to them, you know, about like when they actually want to get a relationship with you and that. And a lot of times they'll lie too. They'll lie. It's not that they'll lie 100% about everything they say. What they do is they'll do storytelling. Where they're gonna make it look like that they're better than what they really are. And yes, it's like when a woman really likes you, that she'll do anything to be with you. Like it doesn't matter what you do. That's basically what it was with my ex. Now, I don't know why she didn't, like, just want to be happy with me. Happy with the life that I had, and that, you know, she was complaining about me driving and that. I'm like, well, I don't have money, you know. I could have got that money in that, but unfortunately I don't. I thought I'd be sticking with giving me like $15 for gas to pick me up in that, you know, every now and again in that, because, you know, it was a share effort. You know, I help you pay for certain things that, you know, I paid for her oil change. I paid for specific things. So my money wasn't worth it. I'd be like, why? I'd be like, so in a logical sense, you like being around me and that, but the logical sense is you had so many fucking relationships, actual relationships, that you poisoned yourself with all this stuff, and then you wonder why that your life fucking sucks. Yeah, you don't know what to do. You're literally hugely like at a disadvantage now because you don't know.
Because if your gut is telling you that asking your supposed partner a question is going to shift things in them that make you feel uncomfortable to the point of not feeling safe, that's your answer right there.
And skip it. And this gorilla continues to agree with us, Colleen. We need to ask the tough questions. So, gentlemen, if you're with a woman and she's divorced and you start hearing her say how abusive and how terrible her ex-husband was, well, then you gotta look up statistical facts. For example, find out who the ex-husband was. And if she says when we got divorced because of all his violence, well, it's pretty easy to look up. I mean, something logical like, did her ex-husband have a criminal record before she accused him of all this violence? If not, what did she accuse him of that allowed her to win the house and custody of the children? If the guy didn't have a record of being abusive to those women, and all of a sudden he gets accused of SA, DV, even mistreatment of the children, then there'll be a long paper trail on this. And if it comes out that it was inconclusive, there was no evidence to prove any of this, maybe that's a tell that it is quite possible he didn't do any of that. It was all false accusations for her to get the quick win. I mean, I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but I am saying lightning can strike twice. So do you want to keep yourself standing in a spot where lightning can strike again? That's on you, gentlemen. If this gorilla finds any of that, the background of a female gorilla he's about to date, trust me, that's not just a red flag. That's a frickin' iron hot lightning rod that's still burning from the last poor sap that got struck. This gorilla is not sticking around a second longer. Moving on.
Any other woman out there that has dated that, like, perpetually negative man? Like, no matter what you're doing or you're out walking or whatever, like, oh, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's raining, it's like, no matter what's going on, he's going to complain, he's going to criticize, like, and...
A woman? Is that what you're saying? That's a woman. You're dating a female man, a fin man. Like, you're explaining. You date a puss boy. Well, that's your own damn fault. You ever know a man that just plays around? Yeah. That's not a man. That's a fin man. That's a bitch. Can't walk in the rain? Like, what the fuck do you mean can't walk in the rain? You got an umbrella for a reason. You got boots for a reason.
Usually he's the one who's not contributing to the plan at all. So you're doing all the planning and he's just sitting back like the critic and being the one who has an opinion about everything. And this guy is always with the nicest woman ever, like the most bubbly.
Yeah, that's called, we call them Chads. And that was an emotional wreck, Chad. That's just the guys you like. Women love dramatic, emotional men that are hot. They don't care. They love the drama. Now, if I'm talking about stuff in that, and I got really dramatized in that, and a woman's attracted to me, so to say, and also out of nowhere in that, she would do anything that attracts me in her bed. Women love that shit. They love the massive drama. If you give off drama in that, you're a very good talker in that, you're funny in that, and you dramatize stuff, oh, a woman will fucking love you to death. You'll get hundreds of girls sucking on your cock and that. 100%. Women love that shit. It gets them turned the fuck on. I don't know. I think it's fucking stupid. I'm like, why do you want someone that's annoying? Oh my god, yeah. You're like, oh my god, yeah. And the guy's like, yeah? Like, oh wow, you're really hot. It's like, yeah, tell a bunch of stories. Women love a good storyteller because they're all in their fucking heads with their emotions. They're all in fairy tale. If you can give them a fairy tale in that, they'll walk right into your fucking pants and unzip that and flop that cock out and go for it. If you're good looking enough. If you're good looking enough in that, fuck, you don't have to do that. You could just smile and just talk to them normal. You could talk to them like a fucking moron. They don't give a fuck. As long as you're getting them attention. You could say the stupidest fucking shit. And they're right. I heard this from Taylor Fiend. I done it myself. You know, like I could go up to a girl. I already did it. I go go say some stupid stuff. It's just like nonsensical stuff. Like, you know, like one of the girls at work bumped into me. I'm like, what, we playing bumper cars or something? You know, you just bumped into me and all that stuff. And she's like, looking at me. She's like, she didn't know what to say. And just like, oh, it's like, I'm just kidding. And that, you know, they said, this is why I don't talk with women and that, because I'm always flirtatious. So that's why I keep myself quiet. And she blushed. She literally like tilted her head down and she smirked, and like you could see that she was getting ragged. She was getting mass attention now. I was there. I'm like, oh no. Yep, looks like I'm not gonna be talking to you much. Because I can't be having you blushing in front of me as all these other women, because all these other women are gonna notice that, and they're all gonna talk like, oh my god, you're talking to that guy, oh my god, oh my god. And then a whole bunch of shit gets fucking made up, and they go into fancy fucking land, and it's all a bunch of garbagey, gobbity, gookity, gookity gook, and it's just like, oh my god. And another sign that I noticed that if a woman's really attracted to you, and this woman looks crazy a little bit, but I have it on my tablet and listen to this funny shit on my tablet. And she starts bragging about what she's got. That is a huge fucking sign that a woman's attracted to you. They start bragging about themselves. They don't brag about the things that matter, like the way they look, because that's all guys really look at. When you look at a girl now, you're not bragging about, oh, nice car. No. You're all like, that's a fat rack, instantly. And this girl's got big boobs, you know, and that's the first thing I attract is her way her body looks. Well, look how fuck you got a car and that, okay. She's like, I got money now. Like, you do? I said, yeah, I got a house, and I'm like, okay, so you got objects. That doesn't mean you have money, honey. Where's that money coming from to pay for all those objects? You work with me at a fast food place. I'm sure you're not making that much money. And you're only working barely like maybe 30 hours a week. I'm surely it's coming from someone else. And they'll never say who. They'll never say, oh yeah, it's my baby daddy that bought me all this stuff and that. And da, 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 da. Or it's my, you know, I do other line of work and that. Like, she never explained anything other than that she has stuff. I'm like, okay, so it had to come from somewhere. So it's evidently a bunch of dudes giving you money for your services, right? I'm not saying that she's a whore. No. I'm not saying she's a prostitute. I mean, a form of one, maybe. I don't know. Money has to be coming from somewhere. Maybe she has an OnlyFans, and maybe she, you know, shakes her boobs online and that, and guys throw money at her. Money's coming from somewhere. If it's not coming from working, you're getting it from somewhere. You're probably getting it from a man. 100%. Because that's how most women do it. Most women get shit from fucking men. And that's very obvious. Because it's like right there in the putty. You're literally ignoring how you got stuff. Unless you have 2 jobs. You're working this for a part-time gig. Which I can understand that too. But like, if a rather attractive looking guy is attracted to you, that means other guys are attracted to you. That are in my standards. So, if I am, then there's going to be a lot of guys that are like 7s and 8s and shit. Because on the average scale, I'm above average by far. It comes down to certain attractions. And guys around my like 7s and 8s, they're trying to become 9s and 10s. And normally like above an 8 is literally just like getting a six pack, and a 10's like making money. So you have it. If you're really skinny at the six pack and that, you already got the face structure. You're already above average in looks altogether and that. All you need is money and a six pack, and you already got it going. All girls are going to sleep with you. You can like look at a girl and blow at her like Chuck Norris. You just look at her, she'll get pregnant. That's how these women are. They literally are so fascinated with pure attraction because that's all they care about is pure attraction. Because that's what they worry about the most is how they look. Like, well, guys care about too. I'm not saying this girl's fucking like the best looking chick in the world. No. Number one, we identify not just with the face, we identify with the body now. If the face is really nice and that, and the body's average, and so to speak, they have like certain qualities like a man, that we can look at it in different ways. That's just how men always seem to work, period, when it comes down to identifying how a woman looks. And normally always go by breast size and butt size. Always, 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 always. We don't really look at the face too much. And if we know a girl's got a cute face, we're like, okay, she's got a cute face. We look at her tits and ass and that, we're like, okay, she's got a huge rack, and she's got, you know, a decent sized butt. It's going to be overall attraction. And that's why we approach. That's why we talk. That's why we flirt. Because we're trying to, you know, get the girl to be comfortable enough for us to be able to get closer enough to be able to touch. That's how it always works. That's how, like, it strictly does work. So once you get a woman in that, like, vulnerable state, they're going to want you. And once they get love out of it, 100% women are going to always want that. They're going to be like, oh, I don't care if you grab on my boobs and play around with my butt and that, because I know you like that, and I like it too. Yeah. And so they let you do it. You can play around their boobs, you know, all day long in the bed and smash ass all damn day. They'll do it. They'll just give it to you willingly. Nah, with all men, nah. I say men that are below, I would say 6 and below. Like, I mean, if you're average and below, you're not going to get, like, it's going to be really difficult. Now, the standards of it are different, though. Like, if you're a man that doesn't have an attractive looking face, and you got a great body in that, women that are above average, which is, well, fucking every woman's almost average nowadays. There's no such thing as a 10 woman, because most women almost all look attractive. Like, weight size, okay, if a girl's skinnier, I understand that. Like, a fat chick's got a little bit of below average attraction, but a fat chick can have a huge rack. A fat chick has a huge rack, she's gonna get a 7 or 8 guy plowing her gigantic ass in. Like, there's always an in-between for everything, but like, that's literally how it is. And like, it just all depends. Like, I know a girl, she had a, like, semi below average face, but she had nice, beautiful eyes and that, and she had a fucking huge rack. She had extremely nice boobs and that. You know, she was above average in a woman. And boobs are almost everything. Boobs and ass, like. No man's gonna sit there and structure a woman just by her face alone. That's stupid. That's like the biggest dumbness. That's why girls that have big breasts or have breasts altogether show off. Now, there's so many women that just don't wear fucking bras. Their nipples get hard, their nipples pierce straight through their fucking shirts. And they walk around with nipples hard all the damn time. And what happens? Guys get hugely fucking aroused. So I worked with this one girl that before the pandemic, I worked at this little like Mexican like place. And she had enormous boobs, and they were they're just thick fucking boobs. She never wore a bra, and her tits were too big. She wasn't that attractive looking in the face, but for how big her boobs are now, you could tell that she had nice nipples and that, and like, she was really fucking attractive. Why? Because she had huge titties, and like, she never wore a bra in that. It's just a sexual attraction, and she knew that. And she flaunted them big, like, she had like a fucking E cup. If not bigger. Like, her boobs were so fucking huge, it was ridiculous. And like you couldn't stop staring at because you wonder how the fuck are they so fucking thick and around in that? They're so big. Like you don't see it a lot. Like I see black girls in that, but she was a white girl in that. Most European-based women don't have gigantic boobs. They just don't. I mean, the very of them do. Damn, I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck do you walk? How do you walk? It's like a guy with a fucking, like a 10-inch limp. How the fuck do you even walk? You don't. You wobble.
Like, oh yeah, you know, hi, whatever. And just this guy is just this wet blanket that's just no matter what, there's something negative. Even on like the clearest day, he's gonna find the smallest freaking little cloud, you know? Like, it just makes my blood boil. What is that?
Sorry. The voice.
Queen, you're actually describing one of two things. Either A, there's a grouch, which, although they're not the majority of men out there dating, but they do exist. Or B, you're describing something so specifically like him. I mean, the giveaway was when you said that he's not contributing to the plan at all, so you're doing all the planning. Yeah, okay, to find out that man, that really narrowed it down to the thing. Listen, it's real simple. With a grouch, it's that the same the grouch is because you like the grouch. No one's holding you back. No one's telling you, hey, you gotta stay here. Unless, of course,